as they say, bienvenue, welcome, vitaємо вас, for those who talk in Ukrainian. It's good to have you here at Camp Spirit Lake on this historical day, where we'll be inaugurating this interpretation center, the first in our country of Canada.
It was a real honor to be able to join all of you here today and have the presence of Minister Jason Kenney here, someone who has truly championed so many causes on behalf of the Ukrainian-Canadian community. I can tell you that as a member of the Conservative Caucus and things that I've been able to witness as a Ukrainian-Canadian, the support of people like Minister Kenney, Prime Minister Harper, and fellow caucus members and parliamentarians that we have here with us today. We've been able to recognize so many of the wrongs that have occurred historically. And the things that happened here for 2 years, from 1915 to 1917 at Spirit Lake, is really a sad mark of Canadian history, and one that was ignored for far too long. You know, my Baba and my Guido immigrated to Canada early in the first wave of migration from Ukraine, from Bukovina. My Baba came with her family as a young girl at the turn of the century. My Guido immigrated in 1908. And World War I broke out, and they were declared alien enemies. They thought they were new Canadians. They became alien enemies. And although they weren't interned, nor did they have any of their property stripped away, as had happened to 8,500 members of the community of Eastern European descent that had those Austrian-Hungarian passports. There was 80,000 total across Canada that had been declared alien enemies. And they had to report into the Northwest Mounted Police on a weekly basis, saying what they were up to and making sure they were staying out of trouble. And if they didn't, then they'd get arrested and thrown into an internment camp. One of the 24, of course, is right here. It's so important that we have this facility, and I just have to thank James Thelodian, his board of directors, all of the volunteers, all of the partners that made this possible. Now, this is the second largest internment camp. At its peak was over 1,200 people. You know, these were new Canadians that had done no wrong other than carry the wrong passport or immigrated from the wrong country. And they were treated as enemies, stripped of their belongings, stripped of their dignity, and were forced labor. They provided a lot of lumber, they built a lot of roads, they built a lot of bridges, and made a significant impact. And after they left from these internment camps, they still wanted to stay in Canada. They didn't go running back to their home countries. They didn't go back to the old country. They stayed in Canada and made a huge impact of nation building in a country that had treated them so unjustly. So we have to remember that contribution despite the wrong. It's fitting that we do this week. It's 6 years ago that our former colleague, Inky Mark, who was a member of Parliament for Dauphin Swan River Marquette, who brought forward the bill that recognized the internment officially, that provided the mechanisms to have the endowment fund, which was honored by the Harper Conservative government. And we're able to make sure that projects like this and projects across the country are erected so people can remember what happened. Because we unfortunately don't have any survivors left. The last one passed away, my understanding, in 1908 or 2008, so just a few years ago. But because of that support from the community, Dr. Lusick and so many of the organizations that worked with Inky Mark and all the parliamentarians in that minority government that made it happen, we are able to be here today and celebrate this grand opening, and that this will be so well used by so many people from across the country and around the world to come and learn about this sad tale of Canadian history. Vichnaya Pamyat, may their memories be eternal.